Kenny Heatley breaks down how much household costs have increased under the Albanese government.
By far above every other issue, the cost of essentials and who voters think would be best to bring those costs down is the number one factor influencing Australians at the polls this federal election. But just how much has the cost of living increased under Anthony Albanese's tenure as Prime Minister? Let's start with mortgage repayments. The RBA has raised the cash rate 12 times since the Labor government came to power and has cut once. In May 2022, the average mortgage size was $615,000. Back then, the average variable rate was just 3.45%, meaning the average family paid $2,752 a month or $33,000 a year. Fast forward to now and the average mortgage size has increased, but here's where it hurts. The average variable interest rate in February this year was 6.74%. Now the mortgage bill for an average loan is more than $50,000 a year, a 57% increase of almost $19,000. What about renters? Well, rents under this government have increased 32%, up to a national median of $675 a week. That leads to an approximate yearly increase of close to $9,000. When looking at electricity prices, the most accurate way of seeing the difference is by looking at the Australian Energy Regulator's default market offer price for New South Wales residents as an example. In July 2022, the average DMO was $1,675. Right now, it's over $2,000, an increase of $355 a year. But the $300 a year energy rebates have slashed that increase to $54. Now, the new average DMO for New South Wales on July 1, however, includes an expected 8.9% increase, meaning your electricity bill will jump $535. Labor announced an extension of the energy rebate for another 6 months until January next year, bringing that figure down $150. Secret shopping by News Corp shows a basket of 29 items costs an average 32% more at the checkout. That's an extra $3,000 a year for a typical family supermarket shop. And just before Anthony Albanese was elected Prime Minister, total transport costs for the average capital city household was almost $21,000. At the end of last year, it climbed to $24,500, a $3,600 increase. Gold Hospital private insurance cover for your family in May 2022 amounted to roughly $4,800 a year. By next month, those same premiums are expected to increase to over $6,000, a $1,260 increase. Now to the good news. The Albanese government's childcare subsidy changes in July 2023 have significantly reduced families' out-of-pocket costs. Looking at the average household incomes and the percentage subsidy settings at the time, even when factoring in wage increases, you are more than $2,300 better off if you have a child in daycare. Wages have increased 4.6% between May 2022 and November 2024, which is the latest data available. And if you look at those weekly earnings over the year, average wages are now over $100,000 and households are raking in $16,000 more per year. Now, according to our figures just for these categories, for a family with an average Australian mortgage earning an average national income with one child in daycare, the cost of essentials has increased by approximately $24,000 a year during the Albanese government's first term in office, and it has far outpaced wage growth. The approximate net cost of living is $8,300. Now, if you factor in the extra income tax that family is now paying, it's more than $10,600. That is roughly how much the average Australian family is in the red since Labor was elected. And this is why the cost of living far outweighs any other issue when voters go to the polls in May.
11 grand worse off.